All right, guys, so now we're going to implement React Router so that we can actually have different routes in our application, because right now everything is on this single index page. So that we need to install this separately. React, again, it's a library, and when you want to use things like a router, you have to install extra packages, which turns it into a framework, basically. React with a couple packages is, in fact, a framework. So let's do npm install, and what we want to install is react-router-dom. Okay, make sure you install this. This is version 4 of the router. Okay, so we'll install that. And that's going to get put into your package.json, so you should see that right here. I'm using version 4.3.1. Yours may be a little different depending on when you're watching this. So now that that's installed, let's go to our app.js file, and this is where we're going to kind of bring some stuff in from the React Router DOM. So let's go up top, and we want to bring in a bunch of stuff here, or 3 things actually, from React Router DOM. Okay, make sure you don't just put React Router. So the first thing we want is Browser Router. Okay, Browser Router is it's basically the parent component that stores all of your routes, all of your route components. And usually we give this an alias, so I'm going to say as router, okay, because we actually have to add this as a tag down below. Next thing we need is route, which holds all of our routes, and we also want switch, which basically allows us to have like a default page, like a not found page, something like that. It's used for other stuff as well, but these are the 3 things we want to bring in. Okay, once we do that, we want to go down here, and we're going to want to wrap everything in our router, but we don't want to wrap the provider. The provider is the outermost component, but right inside the provider, let's put our router. And we want to go like that, okay? And we're using router because we use that as an alias of browser router. So it's essentially really browser router. And then in here, we want to put our routes. Now, the header I want on every single page. So we can mix our routes with other just HTML or JSX. So I want to keep the header, and then all of our routes will go inside this div with the class of container. And whatever route, whatever path we go, that component will show in the container. So let's get rid of our add contact and contacts, and let's put in a route. Okay, actually, you know what we want to do is surround this in a switch. So I want to say switch, switch like that. And then all of our routes will go inside here. So let's say route. And then this is going to take in a couple things. We want to put in an exact parameter because we want this to match the exact path. And then the path that I want is just going to be slash. So basically the home page or the index page. And then we define the component that we want, which is going to be contacts. That's what I want for the home page. And then we can end the route. So that's one route. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an about page, or an about component, I should say. So I'm going to go over to the components folder, and I'm going to create a new folder in here called pages. So this would be for like any kind of just static pages that you want. So I'm going to create a file called about.js. And about.js is going to be very simple, just a functional component. So RFC tab will give us a functional component. And I'm just going to put in here an h1, and we'll say about contact manager. And I'm just going to give this h1 a class name of display-4, which is a Bootstrap class. Just makes it a little more prominent. We'll put a paragraph, and we'll say simple app to manage contacts. And let's give this paragraph a class name of lead. Okay, which is another Bootstrap class. And then we'll do another paragraph with the class of text-secondary, which will just make it gray text. And we'll say version 1.0.0 and save. So very simple component. It's just an about page. And we'll go to app.js and let's bring it in. So let's see. Let's actually move this, the add content. Whoops, didn't want to do that. Let's move this up here, and then let's copy the header down, and we want to bring in about from pages / about. Okay, and then we want to create a route for it, so let's copy this route down. Oops, I just moved it. Let's copy it down. So exact path, and it's going to be / about, and then the component that we want to load is going to be about. Okay, let's save, and then I should be able to go over and go to / about, and there it is. There's our about page. All right, and I'll show you how to add the links in the next video, but I just want to create the routes. Now, the add contact, we have no way to get to that right now, so let's add a route for that as well. So we'll go ahead and let's just let's put that in the middle here. And the path for it is going to be contact / add. And then we want that to show the add contact component. So let's save. And then we should be able to go to /contact / add, and there's our form. Okay, so now we have it on a different page. And if you were building this, it's up to you if you want to have the form on the home page or index or whatever, or if you want to put it on a separate page. But we want to learn everything, so I wanted to use the React router to put it on a different page. Okay, so let's see. In the contacts, now that this is on its own page, I'm just going to put a heading. So we want to go inside the React fragment here before we loop through the contacts, and let's put an h1, and I'm going to do a class of display-4, and I'm also going to do a class of mb2, so margin bottom 2. And then in here, let's put, we'll say contact list. And I want to make the word contact red. Okay, it's going to be black, but I want the contact to be red, so I'm going to wrap it in a span with the class name of text-danger. Okay, so it's just a bootstrap class to turn the text red, and then wrap it in a span like that. So let's save, and that didn't work because I spelled danger wrong. Danger. There we go. So we get our contact list. Good. So that's going to be it, guys. In the next video, what I want to do is create our links up here. I'm going to show you how to link to routes. It's a little different than using an A tag. We actually use something called link that we bring in from React Router DOM, and then we'll create a 404 not found page, because if right now if we go to like /test, we just get a blank page. So we want like a default not found page. So we'll get into that stuff next.